This is so cool, bro. This is such a cool view. Let me tell you a little story, okay? About the universe and its quirkiness. The way the universe gives us clues and gives us direction, directs us, and shows us the way. So one day, I had a big argument with my best friend, my roommate. So I left the apartment and decided to work at my favorite cafe. Once I got there, turned out it was already closed. So I went to a bar, but I wasn't looking for that kind of a vibe. So I went to this fancy restaurant and I ordered water and I just focused on answering emails. I noticed that right next to me there were 4 guys sitting talking about building apps, their startups, entrepreneurs just like me. So I decided to find a way to have a conversation with them. Obviously it wasn't easy. I was waiting for a way in, and eventually it came. One of them said, "Oh, I wonder why DJI app has only 3.4 stars on App Store." And immediately I said, "Oh, it's because it's counterintuitive." He was like, "What do you mean? Can you elaborate?" I said, "Oh, because I recently got myself those DJI mics, and for the love of God, I couldn't figure out how to install them, how to connect the transmitter to the receiver. So I had to call iSpot and have them explain me how to install it, how to, make it work." And I wasted so much time. I was so pissed, and that's why it probably has only 3.4 stars. And they invited me over to the table. That was a nice invitation. It was a nice, way in. They invited me over to the table, and we were sharing ideas. We started talking about our apps, our ideas, our future, the investments we make. It was great. They made me feel so much better, and they reminded me, that situation, that moment reminded me of who I really am, and what kind of company I need to prosper, to think on that same frequency. We think on the same frequency, and it was so easy for us to communicate, without knowing each other. We were just we were having a few laughs, exchanging ideas, like just if we were, friends, old time friends. So that's the way universe tells us to go for it. Go for it, and don't worry, everything is gonna be fine. There is always a way. There is always a way. Just like that song. The first thought is the thought that comes from God. There's this song. It goes like this. Jesus always tells me, Jesus always points me to the right direction, but the devil always makes me think twice. Jesus always steers me in the right direction, but the devil always makes me think twice. Yeah, that's it, folks. Thank you for listening, tuning in. Whatever you do, just remember, it'll all work out. It will all work out. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.